Another lead change. Jamie McMurray to the front at Talladega, looking down from our aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. From pit lane to victory lane, every NASCAR driver counts on Goodyear tires. Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR. 32 laps to go in the Good Sam 500 at Talladega. A race that's featured 43 lead changes, just 3 cautions, and is getting tense as we close in on the finish.
Well, McMurray just keeps on being the car that makes his way to the lead. He has a strong horse today.
Kyle Busch starting to push a little water in that 18 as he tries to push Greg Biffle past Kevin Harvick in the 29, Jamie.
And Kevin Harvick talking to his crew chief, Gil Martin. Gil telling him he's going to be a lap and 3/4 short. So Kevin telling him when he's letting off the gas and when he's not. In the meantime, he likes to be the one pushing. That is the position he wants to be in. And he has a teammate in Jeff Burton, but he's a few cars behind.
All right, Jamie Harvick there behind Greg Biffle. Jamie McMurray with Kyle Busch behind him. As Juan Pablo Montoya takes the 42 car to the garage.
As he came by the start-finish line the last time, he just pulled out a line. Apparently it was an engine issue.
Tony Stewart starting to show up toward the front in that 14 car. One of the guys that's run around toward the back of this lead pack a lot today.
He might have done that, but when it comes time to draft your way up front and figure out which lane to be in, Tony Stewart's one of the best at doing that and utilizing the air and his race car and getting himself in the right position to win these races. You know, Dale, you were just the same way. I mean, you had a knack for this kind of racing. What is it? I mean, what is it that makes somebody good at this?
Well, you worked for the best at it in Dale Earnhardt, and you know, paid attention to a lot of things he did, but you just develop a feel for it as to what you can do with your car and what you need to do, and you know, you get more of a feel of it without having to look at your gauges and things like that, like the tachometer, which tells you that you're picking up speed. You just gather that feel, and Tony Stewart's one of the best at that, as is Jamie McMurray up front right now.
Confirming it was engine on the 42 car for Juan Pablo Montoya. Dale Jr. trying to make that outside lane go forward. Spent a good chunk of the center section of this race a lap down after a pit road speeding penalty.
The fans are on their feet now as you see that 88 going forward.
And another lap side by side for the race lead, Biffle and McMurray. Jeff Gordon back in 17th.
Okay, while you're back here, you can save us just a little bit of fuel. It's going to help us in the end.
Eddie DeHaan, the spotter. .27 laps to go. We go NASCAR nonstop, presented by Pennzoil.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series at Talladega is presented by Pennzoil, pursuing the latest oil technology because we love cars just as much as you do. And in part by Toyota Care, caring for you and your car. And AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible.
Coming to 23 laps to go at Talladega, Greg Biffle is the leader. As the picture continues to change, David Ruderman's just gone to the garage. Kyle Busch shuffled back into line from second place to where he runs now in 16th position, as you saw during NASCAR nonstop coverage. And still trying to figure out when and how to try and go to the front.
And so we're going to have to decide, you know, is do we try to hook up with this 88 and push him up to the front and blow off quite a bit, you know, before we get ready for the end, or do we need to wait till the end?
So that from Jeff Gordon, Doc, who have they made any decisions on that?
Well, just a moment ago, Alan Gustafson said Jeff was saving fuel. He just finally turned him loose. Said, okay, Jeffrey, and from now on you can go, buddy. Just going to turn you completely loose. He was saving gas. They were a little concerned, a little short. And now because of the radio, Jeff's going to try to find somebody. He would love to get to the 88 and be able to get hooked up with his teammate to the right side there, and maybe the two of them go toward the front.
All right, so Jeff's still kind of trapped there. Back toward the end of that line. Further back, this group separated by a little bit of racetrack, then a second group where Denny Hamlin runs all the way back in 27th place. Look at the gap from that group. And then Hamlin's back in the second group, Jamie.
It's interesting to see how many drivers like Jimmy Johnson have gone from the back and they're moving their way forward. You guys haven't budged. What's your plan, Darian?
We're in the back there saving some fuel still a little bit. We're a couple of laps short, but gonna kind of still wait for that big one to happen. If not, we're gonna be ready to go there at the end. They've already made a couple of runs up in the front. Denny saw how fast he was and how much speed he had, especially they're working with the 5, so gonna hold her on for a little while.
All right, Casey Kane's team was down here. They're talking. They're making a deal for the end, Alan.
Okay, Jamie, thanks. Lead change. Jamie McMurray back to the front.
Well, like we've said that a lot today.
Yes, we have. 45 lead changes in this race. About to be 46.
Yeah, that Hamlin group, back to them just a second, they've fallen off back about 5 seconds behind this lead pack. It'll be interesting to see when they decide to go, how quickly they can make that up. That's getting a little further behind than what I like.
Outside lane, Dale Jr. pushing the 2-lap down car of Joey Logano. And they're going to the front.
Well, Jr. decided he couldn't depend on somebody else to push him. He was going to do the pushing and go as far as he could. See, Tony Stewart now pushing Kevin Harvick to the lead.
Tell you that McMurray kept wiggling in front of Greg Biffle, and I was waiting for them to get together. Now Biffle's gotten to his inside, as they have had a couple of close calls.
See Junior have to shuffle back in line.
We're inside 20 to go, and I'm sure that intensity level's coming up in the cockpit of these cars.
50 miles to go. Jeff Gordon.
I know what's screwing this up. That one car is moving from lane to lane to lane to lane. I mean, geez, yeah, I don't know why people think it's a great restrictor plate car. I just think it's a chicane.
High-speed rush hour frustrations in the draft at Talladega. 18 laps to go. You continue to see the action as we go NASCAR nonstop, presented by Pennzoil. 50 lead changes. And coming to 15 laps to go at Talladega with 30 cars on the lead lap. And the winner, anybody's guess. Casey Mears out in front.
He's hung out front or around the front a lot of this day. Fast Ford that he's got, and he's got a Ford and Greg Biffle pushing him.
Some of the guys that have hung out toward the back all day starting to push their way toward the front. Jimmy Johnson, Clint Boyer, 48 and 15. Tony Stewart, 14.
Well, it is time to go now. You can't lay back anymore. You can't hang back. The only way you'd be hanging back right now is if you can't make it on fuel.
Oh, there it is! Biffle knocked down onto the apron, and he hangs onto it.
Wow.
That's 2 big wrecks that should have happened. Him and his teammate Matt Kenseth. I don't know how they both didn't crash in each one of these incidents. They're very similar.
And McMurray to the lead. You don't see a car get turned sideways toward the apron like that at Talladega and not crash very many times. We've seen it twice today.
Well, you see a lot of pushing and shoving going on right now.
Okay, we're inside 15 laps to go. You see that 15 car Boyer, he's starting to make his way up through there. You're going to see a lot of new players at the front.
Gordon and Jr. with a run to the outside of Harvick.
Kyle Busch has a chip.
Hang on to it. He backed off. You're all good right there.
Holy cow, how did he do that?
Talent.
Drifting through the crowd, through the corner.
Now they'll regroup and try again. Keselowski forcing a lane to the outside.
You can see Junior slowed up to get back on Gordon's bumper. That everybody else decided they didn't want to come out of the throttle.
Watch Greg Biffle.
Oh, my.
Yeah, you're supposed to wreck right there. Unbelievable job by Greg Biffle.
And then Gordon and Jr.
Yeah, Gordon's going for the lead here. He's got a head of steam with Junior.
Sideways through the crowd.
Looked like maybe Jr. expected McMurray to protect that bottom lane, and McMurray moved up. And when Gordon went high to go around him, had caught Jr. on Gordon's left rear quarter panel instead of the center of the back bumper. Couple of slower cars. The leaders will come up on to overtake right here. 30 car David Stremme, and ahead the 23 car of Robert Richardson. Stremme to the apron to give way.
Boy, there's a lot of pushing going on right here. Hey, that group of Hamlin and Truex and Kane back there, they're not really gaining anything on this front group.
There's Truex heading up that second pack way back there. 6 seconds off the lead. About 4 seconds off the tail end of that lead group. Coming to 10 laps to go. There's Jimmy Johnson.
You know, we have it figured inside that we're going to run out of fuel on the last lap between turn 4 and turn 1. A lot of other people are going to be running out as well, so we have to be cognizant of that.